Hey, wrestling fans, we're back at it again. This time we're going to talk with all the men from the desert out in Brawley. They made the nice trip out here to Encinitas for the LCC tournament. And when it comes to wrestling, you gotta think Brawley. They're in the top 5 here in the section. And then these two gentlemen to my right are highly ranked in state. So right to my right is Damien Gomez, and he is highly ranked when it comes to his weight class. And what is your weight class?
I wrestle 170s.
170s, okay. And then I got to double check the stats to make sure we get your state ranking properly and everything. So Damien is 15 in the state when it comes to his weight class. And then we got Dane over here who wrestles at 220, I believe. 220, and he is number 1 in San Diego County, or San Diego section, for wrestlers at 220. And he's also number 6 in the state for the 220 wrestlers. Okay, so guys, I'm going to ask first, how was the drive?
It was a clean job. Yeah. We're used to it by now.
Used to it? So you have to take on... that leads to a good follow-up question of, so you guys hang out and play Imperial and all those schools, or do you make a lot of trips out of Imperial County? Do you go to Arizona, or do you come to San Diego a lot? Or
every now and then we'll make a trip out to somewhere and wrestle there.
Yeah, every weekend we're out doing something. But we also duel the Valley teams too.
Oh, the Valley schools as well. So I was talking with Rancho Bernardo earlier, and a lot of, everyone knows Rancho Bernardo is pretty top, and they got a rivalry with Poway. When it comes to wrestling, man, what's the school? Inform us non-wrestlers. What's the school you just want to beat? Who's your biggest rival for Brawley?
RB and Poway.
Yeah, RB and Poway.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's still the teams out here because they're, you always want to, they're ranked high, so you got to beat the best, right? So let's talk about you guys individually. And when we're at these meets and we're at these invitationals, they're long days and there's a lot of wait time. So I'm gonna ask Damien first, then you, Dane. How do you go through a day knowing, just waiting to get called, and how do you stay ready when you might have a long day of not wrestling for long periods of time?
I mean, I just take it one match at a time. When it's close to my time to go, I just start warming up. Other than that, it's just listening to music, staying focused, staying with the team.
Yeah, like you said, you got to take it one match at a time and just always be ready when they call your name. You never know when you're going to get called.
So he was talking about music. So downtime, you're just sitting there, you're relaxing. Do you watch your fellow boys wrestle, or do you kind of mess around on your phone? You try to stay light. What is your downtime experience?
I mean, we just hang out with the whole team, listen to any type of music depending on our mood, and then we just go from there. We just have fun.
Yeah, I like to watch some of my teammates wrestle. It's kind of interesting. I like to coach them a lot.
So you watch your own guys. How much scouting do you do when it comes to these meets? You looking around, it's like, okay, I got my boy over here wrestling for Brawley, but you know what, my weight class is going on over here. Do you kind of peek around a little bit, and how much scouting do you guys do?
Well, I mean, in the sport, you kind of have to scout. So I mean, as much as I want to coach or look at my teammate wrestle, I also got to do what I got to do. So if I have a chance or I can see someone I'm going to wrestle, I'm going to take it. But if that's not, you'll catch me in my teammate's corner all the time.
Yeah, I'm always trying to see who I'm going to wrestle next and how they wrestle. I like to study and see what they like to do.
All right, Damien, I'm going to ask you first. And then I'll get to you, Dane, and then you can have a team answer next. But so, Damien, going into the season, what are your individual goals? What do you want to accomplish? Same question for you. And then what we're going to do is, and then I want the team. What do you think the team goals are for the year? Besides, obviously, CIF championship and state championship is always the team goal. But what are your individual goals, and what is your team goal this year?
Individual goal is just do way better than I did last year. I mean, doing that, I really don't want to look too much into the future. I'd rather just take it one tournament at a time and make sure I do my best and put myself in the best position for every tournament. But, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, last year I didn't have a season. I didn't have a really good season last year. I cut it short. But this year I've been working really hard to get where I need to be.
Team goals?
I mean, we just want to go as far as we can. In Brawley, we're 17 times CIF champs, and we're not satisfied with just CIF. We want to push for Masters. We want to push. We don't want to just take ourselves to state. We want to take the whole team to state.
So let's. If you could describe Brawley wrestling in one word, what would it be? I kind of put you on the spot right there. I said no tough questions before, but that's I'll let you think about it for a second. But give us, you got people watching that are not necessarily into wrestling. They might not know who Brawley is. What do you want? What do you want Brawley? What do you want people to know about Brawley wrestling?
We're tough. That's what. Tough? We're tough.
Just tough and dedicated. That's pretty much.
So you're talking about all the CIF championships you won. What type of program Brawley has? Can you give us? And I know you just used tough as an example, but can you give us? What do you want people to know about Brawley this season? Your guys' team. You know, what is your message to, let's say, I don't want you talking too much smack now. I don't want to start any fights, but what do you want RB and Poway, those teams of the world, to know about you guys coming up besides being tough?
I mean, we want them to know that we're coming for them. Even though we're coming from a small valley, from the valley, that doesn't mean anything. We are coming for them. They are on our list. They shouldn't take us lightly.
Yeah, from a small valley, like even though like they have better kids from San Diego section to work with, we really don't have no one there to work with. But me and him, we're always pushing each other to work hard and get better, and so we pass that down to like the other kids, you know.
So I was talking to Rancho Bernardo, and you're definitely on their radar. They're definitely thinking about you guys as well. So real quick, I want to talk about individually, personally. When did you guys? Because sometimes people start at a younger age. Sometimes they start in high school. When did you guys start wrestling, and what made you fall in love with being a wrestler?
I started at 7 years old. I did a lot of other sports, but wrestling, I stuck with wrestling because it was a one-on-one versus a team-on-team. You know, if you're on the mat, it's only you and your opponent. If you win, it's on you. And if you lose, I mean, you can't blame anyone else but yourself. But then again, you also have the team point of view where your teammates are pushing, your teammates are everything. So, I mean, that's why I like it. It's just, there's nothing like it. I mean, that's pretty much it.
Wait, what was the question again?
It was when did you start wrestling, and what makes you love wrestling?
Oh, I've started wrestling since I was like 4 or 5 years old, and I just always stuck with it. I've always liked the sport of wrestling. I've always wanted to become something pro wrestling.
So you guys both love wrestling. You both started at a young age. The last question I'm going to leave you with, you got little kids watching, and you know they're thinking about playing other sports, and they're getting told to go do wrestling. Why should people wrestle? Why should people pick up this sport that's been an ageless, timeless sport for so long?
All right. Either way, it's like if you're gonna play a sport, you should do it because you want to do it, not because anyone else wants to make you do it or anything like that. But I mean, wrestling is just different. I mean, you can't really explain it. I mean, it's one-on-one. Yet you have a team. You can have a team versus team. You're out there battling for 6 minutes, sometimes more, sometimes less. It's just there's nothing like it.
Yeah, you should have a mindset and of what sport you want to do. Like, if you want to play football, then stick to football. If you want to wrestle, then wrestle. Like, no one should tell you what sport you want to play.
Well, Damien had to leave. He has to go wrestle. Thank you very much for joining us. Got to check out Brawley this year. They're number 5 in the county of San Diego, and they're definitely going to be making a run for that state championship.